What's up, everybody? Hope 2024 has been off to a great start. It is Crypto Noah here with another video. In this video, we're going to be covering how to get high yields on one of the top dexes in all of DeFi, top 10 in Sushi Swap. So before we get started, I do have to say this video should not be taken as financial advice. Please consult with your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. This video is for your education purposes only, and like we always say, do your own research, but use this channel as a starting point. So in this video, I'm gonna do an in-depth tutorial on Sushi Swap. We're gonna go through all of their products and features. At the end, we're gonna go through their yield farming, liquidity pools, and the high yields that you can earn. And then at the end, as usual, I'm gonna talk about if I would use the protocol or not and why. So without further ado, let's get into the content. All right, guys, so per usual, we got to come over here to DeFi Llama and see where Sushi Swap stacks against all other dexes, aka its competitors. And as you can see, they are number 7 in terms of TVL, but within the top 10, they're on the most chains. So they have the most tentacles on their octopus, proverbially. So they have 312 million in total value locked. But as you can see, in the past 7 days, there's been a decrease, but there's pretty much been a decrease on every protocol except PancakeSwap for some reason. And if we click Sushi, it gives us all the data. You can see it's kind of been flatline. It looked like it started to pick up, but then not. But I would expect TVL on all decentralized exchanges to pick up as we continue to go into this bull market. So here we are on Sushi Swap. I couldn't find any like docs like I do on all of the other projects that I review. So we're just gonna go through everything. So let's interact. All right, so here we are. So let's start off with their swap feature. So they have what's called cross-chain swap. So like, let's say you have ETH on Arbitrum but you want to swap it to USDC on Ethereum, you could do that. You just select the asset, ETH, Sushi, turn on cross-chain swap, and then you select which chain you want to receive it on and which chain you want to trade it on. It's a pretty good feature. Right now, cross-chain and interoperability are super important as we are in the dial-up stages of the blockchain. They can't talk to each other. Imagine, back in the day, you had a Yahoo, I have a Hotmail. We can't email each other because the email protocols aren't interoperable. They have to go through the same thing that blockchains are going through now. And it looks like Sushi's trying to help spearhead that initiative. Also, they have or had limit orders. They had a bunch of features: Kashi, Lend, Borrow, Marketplace, Miyoshi, Yield Strategies. They have like articles written on them, but the products have been rolled back for some reason. So I don't think this works, but they had a limit order feature, and a limit order basically allows you to say, hey, here's ETH, buy Sushi or whatever asset once Sushi hits this price. That way you don't have to be by your computer and hope that you are there when you see your price being reached. All right, let's check out their pay feature. So this allows you to essentially like run payroll pretty much. So you can connect your wallet and pay someone. So you click pay someone, and then you can pay a single person. So you do single stream, you put the start, end date, the wallet address, the token, and you can pretty much pay people. That's pretty cool. You can also pay multiple people at the same time. So you insert a CSV file, same thing, enter all the data, the token, the amount. And then they have, you can do your own vesting when you need to unlock funds in certain chunks. So like, let's say, you have, I don't know, $100,000, but you want to unlock a quarter of that every quarter, you can do that. Like if you have employees and you want to offer them some kind of options in crypto, after you can have a 25% vesting period on 100K, send them $25,000 a quarter. Just for an example, you can do that with single people or multiple people. I think that's a pretty cool feature. All right, so if we click more, you can see they have a few features here. Let's check out their analytics. You can filter by the network. I'm just kind of waiting on it to populate right now, but it basically just gives you the TVL across the whole platform. I'm not sure what happened here. I don't even know. I don't think that's accurate because on DeFi Llama, it doesn't show that huge spike. But if you wanted to just see like, oh, how's the TVL on Arbitrum? You could do that in any network, specifically the volume and the TVL. And it's good to look at this because when you're yield farming, you want to find pools with high volume to TVL ratio. So let's say you have 2 pools. One pool has $100,000, but the volume is $50,000. Now let's say you have another pool with $50,000, but the volume is $100,000. You're going to make more money off of the latter pool because the volume is double the TVL. So it doesn't matter how large the TVL is, but you want that volume to be at least somewhat close to it, or if it's exceeding it, the better, because that means it's less people splitting the same pie, which means you'll make more yields. So before I get into any pool, I'm always looking at the volume to TVL ratios. Normally I'll go to something like Builder Metrics, but that's a Uni V3 tool, and I think they built out for Trader Joe as well. You can't do that on Sushi Swap, so you kind of have to just use their own analytics that they have here. And guys, if you like this yield farming content and you want to learn how to deploy the same market making strategies as institutions in TradFi, why? Because they make money no matter where the wind blows. You're supplying liquidity for people to trade back and forth. They make money off volume, and it's high volume when the prices are going up, and it's also high volume when the prices are going down. You just have to have a long-term mindset, and long-term doesn't always have to be, multi-year time frames. Long-term could be 6 months, it could be a year. I showed some examples on my last video on how if you were in a matic pool, you would have made free money because you would have experienced some permanent loss to the upside and the downside, but it went back to the 50-50 if you would have got in there, and you could have got out with your same amount plus your fees, which is profits. So if you want to learn how to do these strategies, find these high-paying pools, create a structure around it, proper risk management, so you can earn passive income and earn as many blue chip assets as you can before the next bull market. Click the link in the description, book a free strategy session with one of our team members. We're gonna hop on, ask you a few questions, kind of get to know you a bit, ultimately just to see if our program is a good fit for you. And in our program, you get access to a world-class, what I think is a world-class Web3 course. It covers mindset, technical analysis, so you know how to bust open a chart and master your entries and your exits, security, so you don't get hacked, crypto and DeFi fundamentals. How does this whole thing fit into the world? How it's going to merge with the traditional financial system? Just everything you need to know around the technology so you can have the right framework to make good decisions in the future. And a very, very good intro and advanced yield farming course that teaches you everything you need to know about yield farming, and it goes way more in depth than anything I would do on this channel. With that said, I digress. Let's get back to the content. Also under the More tab, you can stay up to date with their latest product releases, the blog. You can view forums and proposals. If you're a sushi holder, you can vote on things. I don't hold any sushi, just being transparent, but let's take a look at their academy. And maybe this is why they don't have docs. So if you want to learn about something for beginners, advanced, or if you're a developer, something technical, you click these. So let's click these, and they're all articles. They show you how to remove liquidity, how to LP, how to interact, pretty much everything you need to know with all their products. Most of these have been canceled, like I showed at the beginning. But nonetheless, if it's something you want to learn about on the platform, 9 times out of 10, they have something written up on it. Continuing on, if you want to partner with them, you can do that here. They also have a buy crypto feature, which is pretty cool. I'm sure the fees are pretty high, but hey, nonetheless, it's cool to have the option. And you can't just do it with credit card. Credit card is cool, and I'm actually surprised because, people could just max out their credit cards, get some free crypto, and never pay it back. The money goes up. They pay off their credit card and keep the difference. I'm not saying that's a good thing to do, especially if you care about your credit score, but it's possible. And that's why people weren't accepting credit cards for payment anymore. You can't do it on Coinbase. So I'm surprised they're doing it here. But you can buy crypto with your bank, credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Cash App, debit card, Astro Pay, all these different things. So that's pretty cool. They offer that feature. All right, so now that we went through most of Sushi's basic product features and everything like that, let's go through their pools and see what kind of high-paying farms they have and, other features that they have around their liquidity pools. So if you click pools, it'll bring you to this page. So you have, all the pools. You also have something called smart pools. Let's read about that a little bit here. Smart pools are an automated liquidity management solution powered by Steer Protocol. If you guys don't know what Steer Protocol is, I did an in-depth video on Steer Protocol. I showed all the yields, how the platform works. So feel free to watch that video. But it's designed to augment capital efficiency and yield for liquidity providers while eliminating the need for active management, as the system automatically keeps positions in range. So it essentially makes sure that the position is in range so you can make more money is the idea. You have to remember they do have fees, so that's something to keep in mind. I covered that in the video as well. So how do these work? It says these pools automatically rebalance the liquidity in response to market conditions to secure better returns, mitigate risks, and ensure capital efficient deployment. So users do not have to manually rebalance their own liquidity, as the system always keeps you in range. All driven by yield-generated algorithmic strategies. So it shows you how to access them on there. It gives you all the unique features about smart pools, the infrastructure, pretty much everything you need to know on it. I'll let you guys go through all that. I'm just here to give you the high level. So let's go back to pools. So you can filter by smart pools. You have your position, rewards. Let's just look at all pools here. So if you go here, And the yields aren't super high on this one, so I want to filter by TVL instead of APR because it's just going to get a lot of shitcoin pools that I'm not interested in. Normally I would filter by APR, but as you can see here, 3.69 on Luvium ETH, that's their largest pool by TVL, and it's not even a smart pool, which is kind of surprising. 1% on Wrap Bitcoin ETH, ETH USDC 4%, Magic ETH 30.66%, that's pretty good. Sushi ETH 12%, ETH ALCX 56%. Let's keep going. These are all small. ETH Tashi, I'm not sure what Tashi is. ETH ARB, okay, 372%. This is the best pool I've seen on here, and it's a smart pool. So let's click on this pool here. It gives you all the stats, the transactions. Sushi Swap also offers concentrated liquidity as well, which allows you to provide liquidity within a specified price range on the exchange. So if you're doing ETH and USDC and you want to provide liquidity, you can say, hey, only use my liquidity when the price range is between X and Y. So given that this is a smart pool, I would imagine that when you select your range, Steer protocol will make sure that it stays within the range somehow, some way. And then if you hover over APR, it gives you like what you're being paid out in. So the fees, people must be trading arbitrum heavy right now. The fees are actually most of it. Normally it's reversed. The fees are 352.9%, while the rewards, which is what you're getting paid a bonus in, is actually 19.86%. So going back to the farms, DPX ETH 1.9, that's terrible. The best pool I've seen on here is that ETH ARB pool. ETH Injective Protocol 46%, but now you have like a pretty low TVL here. But these are good because if the volume is high, it's like, hey, okay. But I don't want the volume to be extremely extreme, or I don't want the TVL to be extremely low. ETH USDC.E, this is a smart pool, and you can get 53%. So the fees are 34%. Just from the DEX, which isn't bad. And I'm wondering when they take into account like the APR, and this is concentrated liquidity, I wonder what the APR range is coming from, or is it just giving you like a general idea? Maybe it's V2 where the liquidity is used from X to Y. I'm not sure how they're calculating that now that I think about it. But the rewards is 18%, fees are 34%, not bad. Let's go up and scroll by APY and just see what we can find here. So you just hit APR. So the TVL is extremely low, pretty much zero on all of these. Let's keep going down. Oh, this one has 29 bucks. Yeah, this is why I didn't sort by APR on this pool. I'm figuring like, oh, maybe we can find something pretty good, but yeah, nothing really. Yeah, I'll let you guys go through that. You can also filter by smart pools. You hit smart pools and it gives you all the smart pools. We looked at some of these. This is the ETH ARB pool that we saw. This must be a different one because it's 96%. Elastic expansion. So it gives you the strategy that's using. These are the different strategies that Steer protocol uses. So it gives you what all these strategies specialize in, channel multiplier. It's only a few of them, but I think that's pretty cool. ZTX ETH 197. I'm not sure what ZTX is, but these pools aren't too bad. I mean, nothing is lower than 50% except for this one, but this is a stable coin. I'm not even sure why people are in this if it's no APR, but the TVL, TVL is only $59. All right, guys, so now that we went over all the pools, all of their features, etc., would I use Sushi Swap or not, and why? The answer is depends. I would say yes, though. I have used Sushi Swap before in the past. You know, I trust them. They're battle tested. They've been audited, been around a long time, have some pretty cool features, good documentation, good resources. Could it be better? Absolutely. But like I said, we're in the dial-up stage of the blockchain. So what would I use them for? What wouldn't I use them for? I would use them for, I like the smart pools that they have, and I also like, I have to check to see if like Steer protocols fees are baked into it, because if the fees are too much and I can get a better yield on Uniswap v3, I would do that. But if it's ever like a reward token or something that I want to go on there and use, and I can't get that yield anywhere else, I would do it. Now, why wouldn't I use the protocol? As you can see, there isn't a lot of pools. There's only one pool on there, that's the ETH ARB pool, that I would even consider hopping into, at least right now. Things change on the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month. But for the most part, you can pretty much get a higher yield on Uniswap v3. Not only that, it's better tooling and tracking built around it. Like you got Revert Finance, DeFi Labs, where you can track how your liquidity pool would have performed going back to a whole year. There's so many websites and projects that are doing that I've shown on this channel. So it's kind of like and I'm not trying to bash Sushi because I like them. You know, TVLs on Uniswap is higher as well. Sometimes using these other dexes is kind of like driving a car with no speedometer. Like Uniswap, you can see how fast you're going, you can see the RPM, you can see if you need your oil change, your check engine light. But using these other dexes is kind of like driving a car, but you can't see anything. You just gotta hope everything's functioning right. You gotta hope you're going the right speed. This is an analogy, but is the more tracking and tooling you have, the better you are as a yield farmer, because you know if you're actually making money, and you're better able to back test so you can extrapolate into the future. So that's my thought on the project. Nothing bad to say about Sushi. I just hope they continue to build like different tooling and tracking around it. That's probably the missing piece for them, because that attracts farmers. You know, they're already on the most chains, so I think that would really help them a lot. So with that, I would like to conclude this video. Consider subscribing if you got value, not just here to Crypto Noah, but also to the Noah Owls channel as well. We do more macro financial content, and we cover protocols that isn't just so specific to decentralized finance and yield farming. So drop a comment, share with a friend, let me know what protocol or project you want me to cover next, and let me know any constructive feedback that you have as well. Other than that, I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love every single one of you. I will see you guys tomorrow for the next video. Take care and Happy New Year.